As we've discussed, surprises are great additions to your screenplay. How you place them within your overall story can make a huge difference in the pacing and tension of your scenes. Should they be far apart or close together? In the first act of Wonder Woman, they opt to go for the latter. Warning: spoilers follow. Right after Diana first uses her gauntlets and sees a glimpse of her potential power, she walks to the coastline and witnesses Steve Trevor's plane crash into the water. This is very much an out-of-nowhere surprise for her, which is great because it immediately grabs our attention. She springs into action and saves him from drowning. This is a big scene because it kickstarts Diana's journey to try and help the rest of the world. They could have stopped there and gone directly into finding out who Steve is and why his plane crashed. Instead, they tack on another surprise soon after, which has dire consequences for our Amazonians. As soon as we see Diana swimming to the shore with Steve in her arms, we fly over to find German soldiers who are following Steve. They cross over into the hidden world of Themyscira, and before long, they're firing on everyone, which starts a huge battle. Having two big events back to back is a very smart writing choice here. We don't even have time to catch our breath after Steve Trevor lands before we're hit with an onslaught of enemies. The reveal of the German soldiers supercharges the pacing of that entire sequence, keeping our eyes glued to the screen. Notice how these two surprises overlap each other. Steve crashes, we see the Germans cross over into the invisible force field, we cut back to Diana and Steve, then we go back to the soldiers right as they begin their attack. By the time the battle is raging, we as the audience are amped up, watching every move closely. We don't have a second to become bored in this section. It's worth noting this double surprise is what essentially kicks the film into gear. The introduction of Steve and the soldiers shows Diana there is a world at war outside the borders of Themyscira, so this section is one of the most crucial in the movie. Having two surprises next to each other is only half the battle. You also need to know where to even place them within the context of your own story. In Wonder Woman, they're right in the perfect spot. Putting them close to an act break is a pretty safe place to start out with if you're unsure where to unleash your double surprise. It's also worth noting how the second surprise is directly related to the first. This helps it flow better than two random events. For example, imagine if Steve crashed onto Themyscira and immediately after we find out Ares ordered an attack on the island that would blow it to bits at any second. While it could work in adding tension to the scenes, it would feel off and viewers may not even completely understand why those moments feel weird to them. Quite often while writing, we'll come up with a twist or a reveal or an out-of-nowhere event that flips everything upside down, but then we'll stop right after and immediately dive into the consequences of this event. That's certainly not bad in and of itself, and it wouldn't work if every single surprise in your story comes in pairs. That could get plain exhausting after a while. But take some time to see if your reveals could be more powerful with an extra event happening soon afterward. There's usually at least one or two good spots in a given story to pump up a sequence and take the audience higher than they thought they would go. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you want to learn more about screenwriting and see additional examples from movies, go to writelikeseries.com to check out other films that I cover. Be sure to subscribe to this channel to get updates on new videos being posted. And remember, never stop writing. See you then.